Okay, so this was today's lesson. So today our focus was just on function compositions. We did not do inverses. Oops, I'm sorry, I meant to write today. That's going to be another day's lesson. So what a function composition is when you apply one function to the results of another function. So what we're going to be looking at is we're going to start out with like x equals 5. And we're going to plug that into the g of x equation. And that's going to pop out some answer. And what you're going to do is you're going to take that answer and you're going to plug it into the f of x function, and that's going to give you your final answer. So what this is going to look like is like g of 5, f of g of 5. And then you're going to plug in whatever your answer is and really find f of x. So let's start with a couple of examples. So the first one is f of g of 7. So first I'm just going to find g of 7. I'm going to just start with that. Okay? So if I want to find g of 7, we know that you're taking x and making it 7. So you're going to plug in 7 wherever there's an x. So this gives me 3 minus 28, which is negative 25. So g of 7 is negative 25. Well, since now we know that g of 7 is negative 25, we're going to take that and put it in instead of g of 7. So now we're going to find the f function at negative 25. So the f function is 5x plus 2. We're going to put 25 in for x. So we get f of negative 25 plus 2. I'm sorry, I don't know why I wrote that. We get 5 times negative 25 plus 2. This gives you negative 125, and negative 125 plus 2 is negative 123. And that is your answer. Okay. So then, actually we're going to go back up. So now we're going to do the second one, which is g of f of 7. So this time, we're going to start by finding just f of 7. Let's start focusing on that one. So I have 5x plus 2. I'm going to put in 7 for x. So 5 times 7 plus 2. It's 35 plus 2, which is 37. Okay? So now, that's f of 7. Okay? Well, now I know f of 7. I'm going to take that and plug it in where I had f of 7. So now I'm going to find g of 37. Well, g's function is 3 times 4 times x. Well, we're going to put 37 in for x. So 3 times 4 times 37. And that makes 3 minus like 148, I think. So it's negative 145. And that's your answer. So then we came down here, and these I think are actually easier. They seem harder, but I think they're actually easier. So we're going to do f of g of x. So in order to do this problem, we have to know, we start with g of x. And instead of the g of x portion, we're going to actually put in what g of x is. So 3 minus 4x. Okay? So that tells me I want to do the f function, but instead of x, I'm going to plug in 3 minus 4x. So the f function is 5x plus 2. And what we're going to do is, instead of x, we're going to put 3 minus 4x. So 5 times 3 minus 4x plus 2. Go ahead and distribute. So you get 15 minus 20x plus 2. So 15 plus 2 is 17 minus 20x. And that's your answer. I'm going to skip down to this f of h of x. So if we do that one, first of all, h of x equals 8 over x. So we're going to, instead of h of x, we're going to write 8 over x. So that tells me I want to do the f function, but instead of x, I'm going to put in 8 over x. So 5 times 8 over x plus 2. Well, multiplying fractions is easy. You just multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms, and then add 2. So that's your answer. You're pretty much done with that right now, so that's really great. The only thing we have to really worry about when we have fractions is our domain. So my bottom can't be 0. And so if we remember from the day before, if you go from negative infinity to 0, you have to walk around the minus 0 and then finish at infinity. So that's your domain. And that's it.